Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. So today what I wanted to cover is another survival myth. Talked about survival myth the other day about dogs and things that work, people, how to deter dogs if they're chasing you, if they're, if they're tracking you and that kind of thing. And so we talked a little bit about that in that video. If I remember, I'll try to link to that at the end of this video if you haven't seen it. So this time I want to talk about wasp spray versus pepper spray. I've heard this often in the comments of videos that I've done. I also did a video on non-lethal options, and I think I got some feedback on wasp spray. And, I never really thought a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. And I heard people mention it over the years, and it never really seemed like a great idea to me. It seemed like there were probably some disadvantages to it. But I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was the Modern Combat and Survival podcast. It's a pretty good podcast. You guys could check it out if you want, if you listen to podcasts and stuff. And it was just a real quick episode, and he was talking about the differences between pepper spray and wasp spray. And I thought he made some good points on it. So, I didn't copy this information directly, but I did listen to his podcast, and I wanted to kind of relay it to you guys as well. And I'm kind of put my own points in here as well, my own thoughts on it and stuff too. But I've got 10 basic points that I want to talk about on this. And it's sort of a pros and cons, but I'll tell you right up front that I am mostly leaning towards, that pepper spray is much more effective than wasp spray. And these points kind of go down the reasons why, and some of the reasons why you may want to think twice before using pepper spray before using wasp spray as a non-lethal, kind of deterrent and spraying that in somebody's eyes. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started here. The first thing is that wasp spray, it may burn your eyes, but it's not debilitating, and I have actually used wasp spray for getting nests down on my back porch in the house I had in Virginia. And I've had it blow back in my face before and stuff when gusts of winds would come, and it does sting, but it wasn't debilitating, and so that's something to think about. Now, if you took a straight shot right in the eyes, maybe it would be a little bit more debilitating. I don't know, but it's meant as a poison for insects. It's not meant to shut down your entire nervous system and your sinuses and all that kind of stuff. I just don't think that it's going to be quite as effective. And this is also coming from the perspective of, I have been sprayed with pepper spray, with OC spray, during our academy when I went through, when I first became a law enforcement officer. I was sprayed, and so I know what that feels like. And that is the gift that keeps on giving. Let me tell you, it's difficult to continue being aggressive when you've been shot with that stuff. It's very hard to do. Some people don't have as bad of a reaction to it as others. That is true. But the reason that law enforcement officers use it is because it's generally effective with most people. Okay, so the next point is wasp spray does have a little bit better range, and that's probably one of the reasons, that and it's cheaper, that a lot of people tend to try to use this stuff. But blowback can still be an issue. You can still get blowback, and that can be a problem. The third thing is that, you do have to, or you should, shake up wasp spray before you use it. So if this is a very emergent situation and you're, being faced with this situation in a time manner, are you going to be able to think to yourself, hey, I need to shake this up and then spray it and all that? So that's kind of an issue that is not so great as well. And then, maybe wasp spray might be a better option for you if you're just at home and you just happen to have a can sitting there, or you have cans pre-positioned or whatever. But they're a pretty good sized can, so most people don't carry wasp spray with them anywhere. Whereas, OC spray or pepper spray is, sized in a much more convenient way to do it. Now with that, before we get too far into this video is about wasp spray and pepper spray. I personally think that every person who is lawfully allowed to do so and trained and educated enough to do so should carry a concealed weapon. Okay, I have one right here. I always, carry it if I'm going to be in some place that I can lawfully have it. I highly recommend that is your first and number one option. If for whatever reason you can't carry a firearm, if you want to go with a non-lethal option, pepper spray is not a bad option for personal defense, and giving you the option to get away from a situation, if it's up close. Wasp spray, I just don't think is that effective, but let's go ahead and move to the next point here. Okay, so wasp spray is technically a poison, okay? And when you use it in a self-defense manner, you're using it in a manner that's inconsistent with law, because it's illegal to use a product inconsistent with its actual purpose. So you are kind of asking for a lawsuit. And the other reality is that it's very possible that it could do permanent damage to the person's eyes or whatever, but it's not going to kill them. So they could very easily come back and have a civil suit against you, in which you would have to defend your reasons for doing so. Now, if it saved your life, maybe it's worth the chance to do that, okay? But a good attorney, a good defense attorney, is going to make a big deal about the fact that you're using this poison to debilitate people and all that kind of stuff. And you could definitely see, a good attorney could definitely play to a jury's sympathetic side, even though they were the aggressor in that case. It's very possible. And there's been a lot of instances when people have lost in court when they never should have. Especially in today's liberal courts and stuff like that, you just don't know what's going to happen. So I would seriously caution against using wasp spray. Now let's talk a little bit more about the pepper spray here. Number 5 is the pepper spray is designed specifically to stop aggressive action. And it works pretty good. It doesn't just burn your eyes. It burns your nose, it burns your entire sinus cavity, it burns on your skin. It really has a very big effect on your respiratory system and your ability to breathe quick and easy. It constricts things, and it makes it hard, and it kind of puts you into an immediate panic feeling, and so it's difficult to overcome. It's not just a burning in the eyes real quick, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot more that goes along with it, and it's pretty effective at it. Okay, number 6 is, I kind of covered number 6. It kind of mixed in number 5 and number 6, and basically that it's designed to stop aggressive action, and then the 6th one is that it kind of infects your whole system, and it does so a little better than the wasp spray, I think. Number 7 is it's also legal, and it is designed and created so that it doesn't have any permanent effects on the individual. Now, there are some rare cases where people die and stuff like that with pepper spray, but that is usually not the case. Statistically, it's not going to provide any long-term permanent damage. So you are far less likely to lose a lawsuit if you're using an item that is made for and marketed for self-defense purposes, that is supposed to be humane and supposed to be, not have any lasting effects and stuff, as opposed to using a poison. Okay? Let's see here. Number 8 is that it's far more convenient to carry pepper spray. They come in nice little bottles and, sized with belt clips and different things. And, if you're going to use that, if that's your choice, or you're going to have it as a backup, as a non-lethal option or something like that, it's just easier to carry. It just makes more sense. Number 9 is that pepper spray doesn't have to be shaken before it's sprayed. It's one less thing that you have to think about when you're getting ready to employ it. It's simpler to use. Pepper spray shakes and agitates as your body moves, as you move around, and it's just ready to go when you need it. You don't have to think about it. Number 10 is the advancements in pepper spray gel have eliminated or reduced a lot of the blowback issues, and they've also got some that have a pretty good range on them nowadays. So you know, the technology has definitely gotten better than it was like in the late 80s and 90s and stuff like that. And they actually work pretty well nowadays. So I think that pepper spray is a much better option. And I think you're opening yourself up to the risk of lawsuit. You're opening yourself up to risk of further injury because it's not as effective. And it may take longer before, you know, it starts to burn their eyes or starts to have any effect on them or anything like that. And then it could have permanent damage, so you could be, you know, looking at that, you know, the lawsuit aspect of it. So that's just my thoughts on it. I would be really curious to see what you guys think in the comments below, and if you know some other alternative to pepper spray and or wasp spray or anything like that that you've heard that is a good option, stick it in the comments below. I'd be curious to see what it is that people, you know, think. And if you have better options for a non-lethal, you know, type of weapon, then let us know what you think your favorite is in the comments below as well. You know, you like brass knuckles? Do you like whatever the case may be? I'm just curious to see what people come up with. Anyway, guys, if you like videos like this, you know, urban survival, disaster preparedness, wilderness survival, gear reviews, stuff like that, then click the subscribe button. And also, if you're already subscribed, then click the little bell button down there so you get an email each time we upload. And as always, guys, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button and when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. That's probably the best thing that you can do to support this channel, is sharing the videos out with your friends and your social network circle, because that helps us get increased views and all that, and we definitely appreciate that. And let's see, don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.